Good morning, Tottenham fans. Tottenham have a massive week coming up. First of all, we've got to go to Brentford away. Going to be a very difficult game. We managed to rest a few players on Thursday against Elfsborg. A few players are coming back maybe. It's really good to see that Van der Ven got through 45 minutes without getting injured again. Richarlison's still okay. We've managed to rotate a couple of midfield players. So hoping we've got a sign-in by the Brentford game, but I doubt it the way things are going at the moment. But should we be concentrating on resting a few players for the Brentford game, risking not getting the 3 points and saving them for the Liverpool game next week? Because we seriously need to be in a final of a cup competition. But if we sacrifice any more points in the league, we could drop down to 15th or 16th and be slowly getting dragged into that relegation battle. Is it worth the risk, or are we going to try and go all out and try and win both games? Because there's a 4-day gap between the Brentford game and the Liverpool game. So we have got a 4-day rest, which might be enough to play against Liverpool away at Anfield, which is going to be a very difficult game, but we are 1-0 up. Should we risk resting players for Brentford or go out and try and win both games and maybe fatigued for the Liverpool game? I still think cup competitions are way important at the moment because our league season is basically over. We're not going to make it into the top 6 this season. I really seriously doubt it. So our only hope is to win a cup competition this year. Winning the Europa League would get us into the Champions League, would be amazing, by the way. And we are in the last 16, and we can beat any team that's in that cup competition. So it's not impossible to try and win the League Cup and the Europa League. Straight after the Liverpool game, though, 3 days later, we have to play Aston Villa away. It's going to be very hard to win all 3 games. What game should we realistically prioritize? Are we going to try and get the victory at Brentford and Liverpool and then risk not really going for it against Villa? Because I doubt we're going to be in both cup competitions by the end of next week. If we are, it'll be like a minor miracle, in my opinion, because, we still haven't got all our players back. We've got a lot of strike force out. We haven't got Odegaard, Johnson, Solanke, Werner. I'm not too bothered about Werner, but, there's no options there. There's no options to rest our strike force. Is our strike force of Sonny, Richarlison and more going to be able to handle 3 really big games in a week? I doubt it. So we're going to have to somehow, if we don't, we need to get a sign. We need to get a forward player signed up as soon as possible. Spurs are still looking at getting that Matthias Tell. That would be a brilliant signing if we can get that over the line. And if he can play in the Liverpool and Aston Villa games, it will give us a much bigger chance. I think Romero's not going to be fit for the Sunday game against Brentford, but Van der Ven will be. I think Dragushin went off with a knee injury. I don't know how serious that is at the moment. There's been no news on that I've heard anyway. So we'll have like Van der Ven and maybe Archie Gray in centre defence with Ben Davies at left back. So the defence is still a bit makeshift at the moment. I know Jed Spence can come back at left back as well, and he's been playing very well in that position. But Polo needs a rest at some point as well. Polo is a very important player for us. So maybe put Spence at right back and put Ben Davies at left back. I don't know. It's going to be very hard to make a decision, but at least we've got a couple more options now than we had before. But it's just going to be very difficult to know when to play the players, when players are coming back. Hopefully Romero's back for the Liverpool game as well, and we have a centre-back pairing of Van der Ven and Romero, because that would be insane. That would give us such a better chance of winning that game. Bentancur was starting to show signs of he's getting back to his best. When he on Thursday night, he was playing very well. His interceptions were brilliant. He kept winning the ball back for us in midfield. Sarr was looking quite lively, and Sonny had probably one of the best games he's played in a very long time. But we can't rely on them for all 3 games. We need to rotate. Kulusevski needs to be played in the middle. It was so obvious in the last 3 or 4 weeks when he's been covering outside on the wing. That's why it's so important we get a wide player come in January so Kulu can be put in the middle and cause havoc like he has been doing at the beginning of the season. So if we can get that together and we can get these victories, if we won all 3 games, I'd be over the moon if we could win all 3 games, because when we get into February, we've actually got weeks where we've got a week off before a game. And you know what we're like when we've had a week off? We seem to have full of energy. We seem to be dominating the other team. But since we've had 3 games a week, we've been very, very tired and very poor because we just can't keep up that intensity. Hoping that, hoping we could just get something against Brentford, even if it's just a draw for now. As long as we've got players fit and available for the Liverpool game, then I'll be happy. We need to get to a final. It's a pivotal week because we go out both cups next week. Our season is basically over and it's all relying on the Europa League, which I still think we can win. But in a way as well, if we go out of all the cups, then our league form has got no excuse to not improve as well. So, but it's such an important week. It's so important that we get at least through in one of these cups and try and get some league results in. Because after Brentford in the league, we've got Manchester United at home. It's a winnable game, but Man United are now looking a lot better than they were the first time we played them. So they're going to be difficult to play against too. So I think not long after that, we've got Ipswich away, and I'm hoping that's not a relegation match because, it could be. If we lost against Brentford and lost against Man United, we could be right down there. It's a very, very important couple of weeks now for Spurs, and it's pivotal. It's imperative, not pivotal. Don't know why I said that. It's imperative that we are going into February in a final of a cup competition and in the next round of the FA Cup and in a better league position. Things are really glum at the moment, but they could be so good if results went our way next week. Our season could be flipped on its head. It could actually be like, now we're looking forward to things, and it could turn out to be one of our best seasons ever. It's laughable, really, because it seems like one of our worst seasons ever at the moment, but this could turn into the best season ever. What if we did finish 15th, but we won 2 cup competitions? That would be the best season we've had in like 40 years. So, from doom and gloom, as long as we don't get relegated, obviously, but from doom and gloom, it could be like celebrations. It's unreal how this season can flip on its head. But that's what I mean. But the next 2 weeks, is it going to happen? It could be the worst season ever. So let's just hope and pray that, we have a good week next week. But the question I want to ask you guys is, should we be prioritizing the Liverpool game next week? Should we sacrifice another 3 points against Brentford, even though we're so low in the table? Let me know in the comments what you think, and come on, you Spurs.